Welcome to SVG-TV News for Thursday, July 13th, 2017. I am Jennifer Richardson with the details. Satisfied with the overall production of Vincy Mas 2017, Chairman of the Carnival Development Corporation, Ricardo Adams, says that the acceptance by the public of some of the changes made the festival successful. Speaking on NBC Radio's face-to-face program this morning, Adams said that making small adjustments in some instances had a huge impact on the overall development of the Vincy Mas product. The CDC chairman said they are currently awaiting official statistics to analyze the different components of the festival and how it has influenced the overall development of the country, among other things.
There are some things that we tried that worked well. There are some things we still have to play with, but overall, I think we're satisfied with what happened this year. The feedback that we've been getting from the general public has been positive. They've been embracing some of the changes that we've made. I'm still in the process of trying to compile some statistics, and so from the airport, the tourism authority in terms of visitor arrivals, and from the law enforcement agencies in terms of crime statistics and those kinds of things, because I think what is important is that this year we begin benchmarking based on statistics, so we can say, you know, have we improved or have we remained the same? Have we gone backwards when we look at revenues, show attendance, and you know the broader aspects of how Vincy Mas affects the nation.
Adams outlined that the change from having masqueraders on stage at the Victoria Park to being at Little Tokyo was a change that a lot of persons appreciated.
For years, the crowds in the Victoria Park have been dwindling, and so we thought that, you know, this year there's been discussion over the years of taking it outside of Victoria Park, because the mass men keep saying that mass is telling a story using costumes and displays and art and that kind of stuff, and we thought that telling a story and there's nobody there to appreciate it really didn't help the cause. And so we decided, let's bring the mass out closer to the general public, where more people can view it, where the product has more eyeballs on it. And therefore we looked around town. We knew it had to be somewhere on the Bay Street location. So we looked around town. We did a site visit jointly with the representatives from the mass organization, and we looked at it, and Tokyo seemed to offer a lot of logistical advantages, and so that's why we ended up with Destination Tokyo.
The CDC chairman, however, expressed concern that in order for one to receive the road match title, some DJs opt not to play the music of other artists, something which he said they will have to look into.
The impression is that the road march, or the fight for the road march, compromised the ability of the DJs to really give the public a much wider range of music on the road. We've had some feedback from some of the private events where the DJs, some people are not necessarily happy with the choice of music of the DJs, the range of music, because we had easily over 100 songs that were entered into the Soca Monarch competition this year at the preliminary stage. And we think that, you know, the DJs and so have not been playing as wide a range of the songs. And obviously there seems to be some as I said, the fight towards the road march seems to be driving a lot of that. In terms of the events, generally we had good feedback on them. Crowd attendance and so was pretty much where we expected it to be. The new events, we've got really good feedback, particularly Evo 4.0. We think that is an event that has a particular niche market. As somebody pointed out to me, they think it's the Soca Monarch for the mature crowd.
Commissioner of Police Acting Renal Hathaway said the crime-fighting strategies they adopted to ensure a safe Vincy Mas 2017 for revelers have proven to be successful. In an interview with SVGTV News on Thursday, Commissioner Hathaway noted that generally the weekend of activities was quiet from the police standpoint, adding that even with a significant influx of visitors who were here for the 40th celebration of the June-July Mass, activities in capital Kingstown proceeded smoothly. He took the opportunity to commend revelers and other persons for abiding with the law.
Several matters that affect the entire nation from a security standpoint. The carnival activities in itself, in and around Kingston, was, from the police standpoint, relatively quiet. We had no major incident coming out of carnival itself, save and except for several skirmishes that would have occurred primarily Monday afternoon, and one incident where an individual was arrested for being in possession of a cutlass. Outside of that, there were no other issue of any great significance as it relates to carnival specifically. In that vein, I wish to commend the persons who participated and who would have made carnival for a job well done. The patrons must be specially commended for the way they conducted themselves during the period.
Commending his team for their hard work, Commissioner Hadaway said he was pleased that they carried out their duties in the utmost professional manner.
Without that, we would have had our hands filled, so to speak. And as you speak about the whole issue of strategy, we are, and as we continue to say, we would always be seen, visible, and we will also be, if you want to say, covered as well, where you will not be seeing us, but we would be there. And particularly our covert operations would have reaped success throughout the period. We would have mixed ourselves within the persons participating in the revelry, in the bands, and as soon as an incident would have raised its head, the police would have been almost there instantaneously to address the issue. Our stop and search as well continue to bring success, in as much as persons from time to time look at it as an inconvenience to them. It is geared towards engendering a safe and peaceful carnival, and we ask that persons understand and cooperate with us while we are executing these tasks. The inconvenience cannot really make up in any way for your safety.
Vincentians are being encouraged to utilize skips and other waste bins provided by the Solid Waste Department to aid in the cleanup activities of Capital Kingstown. This encouragement comes from Pat Hazel, supervisor at the Sanitation Department, as he spoke with SVG-TV News on Wednesday, during which he gave a brief synopsis on the cleanup activities being undertaken by the Public Health Department following the long weekend of carnival activities. Hazel stated that the department has been strategic in its approach, adding that thus far they have not faced any serious issues.
No, not really. The most important element in cleanup activity is timing. I normally give at least a different time almost every day according to the show in Kingston, the activity in Kingston. For instance, after Juve Monday morning, we normally start at 11 o'clock. In comparison to after Mardi Gras Tuesday, we start at midnight. This is to avoid clashing with the revelers after every activity. Yes, sir. Basically, well, not glass bottles anymore, it's plastic bottles, tins, styrofoam. And very cheap piece of costume. There's not much problem with the costume.
In relation to the accumulation of plastic bottles laying about in the city after such a festive weekend of activities, Hazel said this year there has been a considerable reduction and further encourages persons to utilize the skips which are provided by the Solid Waste Department.
Well, since the collection of the purchasing of plastic bottles, we hardly have any problem because people normally take them up prior to our cleaning. We hardly meet few. Hardly meet much of them on the ground. We normally get assistance from the solid waste in the place of skips in different positions, which helps us very much. Whenever we pick them up into our barrels, we'll place them into the skips and the solid waste will collect them. And if the public can use these skips more and a better, we can use it efficiently. It will help us very much. But that's the problem.
The Sanitation Department supervisor said the department, along with other stakeholders, has over the years been engaged in sensitization programs aimed at showing the benefits of responsible waste management, adding that there needs to be more enforcement of the laws.
I think this sort of program has been going on throughout the years, both from public health and from studies, encouraging people to use bins sort of in the drains. I mean, it's not a one-off thing. It's a program that will continue throughout the year on an ongoing basis. But the public is not healing to those programs, so okay. I don't know what's the problem. The legislation is there, but I think it's not being enforced. That is the problem. No enforcement of the laws itself.
Just 2 days after the conclusion of the hottest carnival in the Caribbean, Vincy Mas 2017, SVG-TV News team earlier caught up with some members of the public who shared what they enjoyed about this year's celebration and highlighted ways in which the festival could be improved.
It was good from my perspective. I was not on the streets a lot of the times to see what is happening, but being from the studio standpoint, because I will usually do the anchor for NBC Radio in terms of bringing live shows and so. From what I've heard, this year was a very good year for Carnival, Mass, Pan, and Kaiso, you know. The thing about what I don't like really is the fighting of usual, you know, people chopping up, using bottles and all that. And we know that will exist with us because whenever you have people around, these things will happen. But generally speaking, the carnival itself was a very good celebration.
I think some of the shows went just a bit too late, and that's something that they need to step up on. The level of the calypsos, I think, were pretty high this year. You have some nice raga and soca also. So I think it was a good 40-year experience. However, as I say, there's always room for improvement, and perhaps they need to do some post-mortem and try to improve that for next year.
Well, it wasn't too bad. Only the Juve kind of disappointed me because I was looking forward for more people and more bands on the road and so forth. Next year, I'm looking for more events, you know, like from the time Carnival start, let have more show every night. I think I'll boost the Carnival somehow.
Well, it was a bit disappointing because it had less people and it wasn't as jammy as the last years and the songs and they didn't come out as good as I expected them to be this year. I was expecting more, but they didn't get more.
But no fighting, we enjoy the carnival and thing. So I hope it will go on like that and no fighting. Well, certain people, I see them pushing and thing. And well, you know, girl for wine up and so on. I don't really depend on kind of things. I know I get in trouble.
With many of the visitors and returning nationals who came to be a part of the 40th celebration of the June-July Festival, returning to their places of abode, SVG-TV News team early today caught up with 2 visitors at the Agar International Airport who spoke on what they enjoyed about their stay in SVG during the festive period.
My stay was pretty good. I spent at least, I think it was 13 days here. What was very interesting is I think it was the private parties, I think all-inclusive stuff. I think that was very interesting. Also the events that the CDC puts on, I think were pretty eventful. Victoria Park, I think was also very eventful for me because I've been away for quite a while now and this is my first carnival back in 29 years, so it was pretty eventful for me. I went to all of the events and I think they were pretty interesting.
Do you figure you might be coming back maybe next year?
Hopefully next year because I came with lots of friends and we really had a good time.
I like the concept of bringing the mass to the people outside of Victoria Park on Tuesday, because there was always, you know, difficulty with having folks come to the mass in Victoria Park. So it was nice to see the change and have the mass, you know, come to Little Tokyo. I wasn't totally sold on the concept, but having witnessed it for myself, I clearly understood, you know, the strategy behind it, and I thought it was well executed. All right. There's still, you know, a lot of other room for improvements in other places. I thought that the decorations and the build-up to Carnival, particularly 40th anniversary, should have had a bit more what we call hype. It would have been nice to see, for instance, like a big number 40 at the top of the hill at the airport or up at Fort and have it lit, you know, with lights at night, different, you know, interchanging lights, you know, and probably a big Vincentian flag and a big 40th flag, you know, flying, you know, that kind of stuff. But other than that, I mean, you know, it was a good attempt. But I strongly believe, you know, under Ricky's leadership, and I have to give him credit for that, under his leadership, it looks as though we're going in the right direction.
Our news team also caught up with nationals who arrived today on Sun Country and Caribbean Airlines, who expressed elation in being back home after an extended period away.
This is my first time coming here with Caribbean Airlines, and I was really happy that I made that choice because, I mean, first time coming here since the airport is finished. I will tell everybody, give it a try, especially those who had their doubts. Come and see what it's like, because you can't count it out if you never tried it. It's really, really nice.
I don't think words can actually express the way that I'm feeling right now in regards to being here, because I've been always saying that I want to come back here, especially when the airport is finished. And it haven't been finished for too long, and I'm so happy to be back here and to see such a beautiful structure. I think that the government have done tremendously. It is beyond what I can actually think of at this moment, you know. It's been tremendously pleasant for us in this Inconvenience.